Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site, it's an archive post thingy, and also on Patreon for extra support. And I will go about any kind of updates and such on Twitter X platform, especially on the when I do live streams, which I didn't manage to do anything yesterday. And I'm still trying to find a fix for the last live stream that I did. Crashed down. I basically will experiment just streaming to one side. I think it's the fact that I'm overloading the GPU, especially the encoder part there. I'm overloading too much the GPU there, and I think it can help because I'm using 3 different ways of going about things. So I record, it uses hardware encoding to record the thingy, then I stream H.264 for Rumble and 265 for YouTube. Plus the fact that I'm gaming, it's a lot of things. It's been happening a little bit more lately. I will try now to stream 4K AV1 on YouTube only, and then of course I will post the VODs on Rumble regardless. I will try this, I don't know, around, so I can get a better average, like at least 5 to 10 streams like this. Mainly the fact that I'm starting out with YouTube 4K 60 is because if anything happens to my site regarding recording site, I got the 4K footage on the YouTube side that I can recover, because I think my the recording is corrupted from the last stream, so I will have to download from my YouTube channel the live stream there and then edit out, and it will not be in a good quality there. But yeah, I just hope that Rumble ups up their game again, accepting at least AV1, because I think it's not I think it's royalty free, but I'm not sure that codec there. What you need is a little bit of the upgrade on the server side to accept that. Yeah, because 264 I can do it, but it's not a good quality, especially on gameplay there. It's not a good quality. If you're just having a static image and mainly, I think it's okay, like like presenting news or something like that, it's more than okay. But if you are gameplay 60 frames is it's not good, let's say like that way. So at the moment my decision is on the streaming side I will stream 4K 60 AV1 on YouTube, and of course then afterwards the VODs will be launched again 4K 60, because I will continue to record the live stream. I don't think I have, because while I'm playing and recording, I never encounter any kind of issues. It's when I live stream I have this kind of issues that I've been encountering. I am assuming into a certain degree I also troubleshooting this by going this way. If it goes along well, then I know basically for sure it is like a lot of different codecs, so I'm pushing too much the hardware encoding on the GPU, because doing a lot of stuff at the same time, again, supposedly it can do, but for long periods of time, like 3-4 hours, it's not healthy. It's the GPU can handle that much, and I assume again this is for all kind of GPUs trying to use 3 or 4 codecs hardware encoding at the same time. It's not healthy, but yeah, that's my decision regarding live streams. And later today we'll continue our Jedi Survivor gameplay series, and later today I will have to change to the completed gameplay series, because Mutiny Zero Eden is wrapped up. At the end of the last episode I leave kind of my feelings and thoughts on the game itself, so I will not comment at this moment in time. But still, it's recommended when it comes in any kind of deal, and that I can catch my eyes on, I will recommend regardless. So, but yeah, it has some nitpicks here and there, as all games have. But yeah, I will leave it for you to watch if you're really interested. Regarding news, we got some hardware news. We got a little bit more unveiling of the 7900 XTX Phoenix Nirvana. Supposedly this is going to be, at this moment in time, mainly China market, from what I've been receiving, because I think they say here on the official XFX store, it does not have I think it does not have like a global market prices and such. It only has like in Chinese yuan, I think it's how it's called, the coin there, the currency. Even though translating $1,100, it's kind of in line launching. It's $100 above the MSRP of 1,000. I think it's still 1,000, the XTX version. But yeah, I've got some interesting things here. The cooler stuff and everything is the same basically that I can see. The color scheme is different, and the fans solution is also different from the one that I have, because I have the XFX Merc 310, whatever. It's a long name there. But yeah, the base plate here is basically the same. The only thing that seems to be different a lot is the color scheme. Usually it's black matte and silver linings, and here it's red linings here. Yeah, this is basically the same here. It's the fans. The fans, they are supposedly replaceable individually because they attach magnetically, which is an interesting solution. Regarding the speeds and the such, I'm not sure. Yeah, but if I ramp up my fans, it will make a lot of noise. It will cool down for sure, but it makes a lot of noise. And of course, they have the addition of vapor chamber. I'm not sure if mine has a vapor chamber. I completely forgot. But yeah, interesting new model there. Maybe for this is more in line with like AMD with the red theme there. Interesting is the cooling solution there, that they use magnetic in case that if you play a lot of hours, and sometimes you might get a situation that a fan might fail, and changing one fan, if it is completely attached to the cooler solution there, it can be a little bit tricky. If it is like a magnetic solution, just pop out the fan and put out a new one, taking into account that you can find one and any kind of, I don't know, in their store or something like that. But yeah, interesting enough, it's in line with the one that the same model that I have from them. It's just a matter, it's a little bit bigger and a little bit got 3.5 slots thing here. And yeah, I think in terms of OC and the such, it's basically the same. We got some better thermal pads. I think the power delivery system is the same because it's pretty good. It's pretty decent on that GPU. But yeah, basically now we can see what this GPU is about here. Got also Intel Battlemage again. We got rumors saying that it's going to be presented on time, it's going to launch on time, the Battlemage stuff. Sometimes you see some delays. Again, now we get rumors that it might be delayed. Again, there is no... I don't understand these people with the rumor stuff. Can you be more precise? Because there is no trace of Battlemage at all. Okay, regarding what? They also should have been presented here something... in a better way here. There will be no DG3 next year. I don't know if it is discrete graphics 3, might be Celestial. Again, these people should be a little bit more specific on the rumors that at least they present. Even though supposedly this guy is very accurate on the rumors and the posts that it usually does, doesn't mean a lot to me, but yeah. Yeah, Intel in AMD mobility leaks. Now, what the mobility leaks? I will assume that it is like GPUs for laptops or something like that. Supposedly, Intel is doing its best for the iGPUs. on the CPU side there. They're going to introduce the Battlemage architecture there for mobile versions, especially on the side of the Call Ultra 200V. So I don't know what they're doing there regarding that part of the thing. But yeah, supposedly I don't know if they have some stuff working on R&D still, because I think from what I understood they already started working on Celestial, and they basically wrapped up on Battlemage regarding a lot of R&D stuff. So I think it's a matter of producing in quantities the GPUs and distributing them to AIBs. But yeah, supposedly it's is like an internal delay of some sort. But again, we don't have a lot of information. They're not, of course, they're not just throwing out everyday work reports to everybody. But yeah, and the fact that there is some rumors and worries that they might step back on focusing more on discrete GPUs there. Even though they did huge amounts of progress with the Alchemist stuff there, I think they did an excellent job of recovering from the launch until where they are now, because the launch was not like excellent. But what they did, especially on the driver side software, on the driver side there, they've been improving ever since. And they've been updating everything regularly, which is always good to see. But yeah, it's a little bit worrying, because I would very much like that they continue to do their plan of launching Battlemage, Celestial, Druid, and whatever name they want to call it to the architecture of the GPU stuff there. Mainly because it will be interesting to have another manufacturer in terms of GPUs in the market there, to bring serious competition, because when you only have two players on one market, it's not really a competition. They're just trying to eat each other up, and if by any chance one fails, then we get a monopoly on that side of the market, which is it's never good. But yeah, hopefully they can smooth out anything that they have to smooth out, and we will get, if might be delayed, but at least they don't drop out the discrete GPU stuff there, that or the dedicated GPU, I don't know how to call it now, from the Intel side. But yeah, basically in terms of hardware, that's what caught my eye at the moment. Got some interesting news now from Helldivers 2. Again, seemingly, this was this morning at my time here. Supposedly now, officially, I got the Twitter here. PlayStation back down on that required PSN account to be able to play the game, which was supposed to happen today. So it was very supposedly the May update was today, but yeah, they just will not be moving forward. So they back down on that, following all the, not only I think the review part did have something to do with it, because it's a visible thing that you can see when you thinking about if you're going to buy the product or not. If it has extremely overwhelming negative reviews, people will always usually take account on that. But I think it's more when people start requiring refunds, especially from countries that cannot have a PSN account legally, at least. Yeah, that took a hit on their financials when they start to seeing the trickle down economics of how things work when you have a customer base that you're trying to screw up. Yeah, and they basically back down. Supposedly the excuse, they are still learning what's best for PC players, which is a bullshit corporate talk, and their feedback has been invaluable. Hopefully so. Thanks again for your continued support of Helldivers 2, and keep you updated on future plans. Again, supposedly this might be having some impact on other games that PlayStation might publish on the PC market. We'll have to wait and see. Again, now that seemingly this is resolved, because then we got the follow-up on the CEO from Arrowhead. Again, to a certain extent, they have some. I've been watching some videos here of people doing some deep dives on this kind of thing. He has some fault to share there, because everybody in the studio, in the developer studio, were aware of this requirement. Supposedly, they didn't to allow the game to function properly. I think more on the cross-platform side. They have to shut down the ability of having the PSN account linked to Steam because some server issues, and there was supposedly a grace period per se, but they always were aware, and they were, again, lack of communication, because they don't have the power to make this decision. This is a decision from PlayStation itself, but they should be more, let's say, they should bring more awareness at that time of that kind of feature that will be implemented sooner or later. And again, I think it was an error for PlayStation to let any kind of, given that was a requirement per se at launch, and it still has a warning there. PlayStation at least should have not be able to sell the game to persons that have a Steam account in a country that did not have the possibility to have a PSN account, to basically to link those two accounts together. That's why we saw on the rush on the weekend, people we got an update on the game that basically removed the listing on 100, more than 170 countries, something like that. More than 100 countries were removed from the listing there, because basically, again, the PSN account thing, it's one of the major things. Even though we got all the Sony hacks and all that stuff, and but the main thing here is they were selling a game for people that then were not able to play with. And again, there is some legalese and some precedent of, for example, the fact that you might be required to connect your PSN account. The fact that you had like around, I think, 3 months or so where they didn't enforce that requirement, it's more than welcome for even I start seeing some guys that go about the legalese on the corporate side there, that will be if because they did this enforcement of this rule, that could be some kind of class action. There will be some grounds for it, depending again on the jurisdiction and everything there. But I heard some rumblings there from lawyers, that corporate lawyers that have like YouTube channels. There are a lot of them, and they were thinking about that there was a big possibility of having something like this happened. And again, I assume PlayStation people there will also start thinking about this kind of things, and the last thing that they need is a class action lawsuit and giving a lot of refunds to people that are requesting there. Again, the harm is done. But it was a good 1080 in this case. There have been some peaks here on people. Again, after I start watching a lot of the replies here, some people are basically changing again their reviews as positive, but again, they are cautioned now regarding this game. People that already bought the game, and didn't request a refund. They will continue to play the game, of course, because the game itself is pretty good from what I understand as a multiplayer game. But yeah, got now the issue of the community managers, because they did a lot of harm to the developer, or to the company itself, Arrowhead in this case. The community managers there, especially on Discord, it was not a good turn for them, and I think they need to, or I don't know, they need to have better policies there regarding customer support, because we are talking about stealing, potentially stealing money from clients. I mean, in PlayStation stealing money for clients, because they have the publishing authority there, so they have the final word per se, what it can be done or not regarding what Arrowhead does regarding the game. But yeah, the community managers there from I assume Arrowhead Games, yeah, it was not a good look on their part regarding those community managers trying to basically dismiss people's money, because at the end gamers are customers. They pay money for a product and to take advantage of that product, and you are just assisting the customer base. People tend to forget that when it comes to gaming, because at the end of the day, if you have a bad marketing on the product, you will have less sales, that's for sure. And I think a lot of people are still reticent to come to Helldiver even after they been refunded. A lot of cases of a lot of refunds being passed on through Steam. I think a lot of people will not play this game, mainly because in part of the PlayStation move there of taking instead of at least asking some feedback. Okay, we want to implement this. Is that okay to anybody or something like that? Even though there is a lot of ways of going about this, for example, offer some skins or something like that as a bonus for you to just connect your account to the PSN thing there, and at least they had their own data from the countries that can have, and still maintain to a certain degree no this kind of backlash of reviewing and people complaining and asking refunds. There was a million ways to go about this in a different way. Again, I cannot blame the final word on Arrowhead. They could have been done a better job of keeping people aware that this will be enforced someday in the future. But yeah, hopefully it's a lesson to everybody involved. Again, my final take on this one, I will not take a chance at this moment in time. Hopefully there'll be more changes here, because I got very interested in this game, mainly because the way they went about it on the game, the fact that you have a lot of you have a huge community driven to shared goals, and even technically the gameplay mechanics there, they seem pretty good, like best in what usually multiplayer games have to offer. It's not even the way the game is goes about, it's not very cash grabby, let's say. You don't feel that you're going to be a sucker of money in every hour that you play the game. Yeah, I think it's in terms of game, I think it's a lesson learned for developers to take on what if you want to make a multiplayer game, how are you going to go about it, taking accept the part of the PlayStation Network requirements and the community managers there on the customer side there, taking into account in terms of technically how you go about the game, because even the overall lore and overall story arc there, when you have those managing democracy all over the planets there, I think that they got a lot of stuff that you can take advantage of and make another excellent game with a different complete lore or IP or anything that you want to do. Yeah, I will keep trying to follow to see what this does. Again, I'm a little bit reticent on recommending PlayStation games on PC, the PC ports there. Supposedly the single player games will never affected by this requirement, and I will assume they will not be moving forward. Also, at least single player games, we will get Ghost of Tsushima later this month, I think. It has a multiplayer component, and I think that one has a requirement if you want to play online to connect a PSN account there. But I think single player doesn't require that. Again, we'll have to wait and see how that will be implemented and integrated on the game itself. But at this moment in time, I want to see what if PlayStation has like a more clarification regarding their games on the PC market, because supposedly they are still learning to see what is best for PC players. And given that supposedly our feedback has been invaluable, yours, because the feedback that I did was just covering this situation, didn't have any stakes on this per se. But yeah, hopefully they can learn from this and not make a requirement even in multiplayer, because people usually don't like it. And if you don't have a requirement, don't make it a requirement after the game is launched, being 1 week or 3 months or 1 year after the game is launched. If you launch in certain conditions, people expect that those conditions maintains, because when you yeah, basically that's it. I don't think I have much more to say. Hopefully this will smooth out. It will take a little bit more time changing negative reviews to positive reviews as always, but hopefully it's already starting to smooth out a little bit here. This is from today, I think May 5th or 6th, not sure when this screenshot was taken, but yeah, we're starting to see a little bit people changing their reviews, continue to play, and if this maintains and hopefully PlayStation maintains the word, we'll be seeing the growth of this game continue, because this is a huge case of success for not only Arrowhead but also for PlayStation in the market place there, in the PC market, sorry. But yeah, and lastly we got Rest of the Wicked, still in early access, but they did patch 1 and they optimized performance and lowers a little bit more the requirements. So basically they did a lot of optimizations regarding performance on both CPU and GPU. Again, don't have this game, but they're keeping themselves busy on doing a lot of optimizations. Again, I think this is the way very different of the Ori games in terms of internally, in terms of development, how it works. So I expect this will take a little bit more time, because I think it's something new for the studio there. Hopefully it will continue to improve, and when it comes to come out of the early access, it will be an excellent game. It's already been, you got a lot of in terms of the mechanics and the such, you got a lot of interesting things they're going about it, especially also on combat stuff, exploration, and the survival elements, and there is kind of a base building aspect there. Hopefully they can enrich a little bit more of those things, because I think because it's the early access version, we don't have everything unlocked on the game, to see how this will continue. But yeah, they have something interesting happening there. But yeah, they lower a little bit the specs here, especially 1080p 60. We got now 2060 or 5600 XT. So I'll assume around 80 gigabytes of VRAM GPU in this area of performance is more good than enough. Then we still have an iCore 11th generation, so 11700K or a 5800X. Still a bit high for a 1080p 60, but I think it's a little improvement there. Yeah, I think it's mainly because of the again, it will take a little bit more time to smooth out a little bit more things, because I think usually 5600X for 1080p 60 might be a good aim there, or something equivalent there. To 60 5600 XT, I think it's decent enough there. Yeah, and graphic settings quality, yeah, okay, seems pretty good. They're improving little by little, and smoothing out a lot of those rough edges there. I think it's going to be a good game overall. At least it seems to be heading that way. But yeah, this is what I got in terms of news. Still got a lot of deals here. We got Dead Space Remake, 65% off. Again, I started recording the gameplay series for this game. My overall thoughts so far, similarly, the story is the same. Got some not changes there, but the way the story is presented is a little bit different, because everybody already kind of people are aware of the lore of Dead Space, so there are some things that can open up a little bit more here and there, but nothing huge. The gameplay mechanics is basically the same, at least feels the same the way that I last played the original one. Graphics are hugely improved, of course. My main nitpick is something that is going to be presented throughout the entirety of the game. It's the vertical stuttering on the while it's loading the level, or while the game is loading and working on the background. You got a lot of stutter, you got some vertical stuttering happening here and there. That's my only complaint so far. The rest seems pretty okay. I don't have any complaints. A lot of updates there. Even Isaac Clarke is voiced by the original actor that voiced in Dead Space 2 and 3. So yeah, that's my only nitpick so far that I noticed. We got also The Invincible, narrative-driven game. Seems pretty good, based on a book, sci-fi book, and it's 33% off. Got also Atomic Heart still on the deal, 55% basically in all editions. We got Nier Replicant and Nier Automata still available, 60% off in both of them. We got 80s, 66% on the base game, and yeah, it only has the base version there. This is the with the original soundtrack bundle. And then we have how this is called, Mass Effect Legendary Edition. It's all free games, the original trilogy plus all the DLC with improved graphics and all that stuff there. On GOG we got Wild World. Again, I bought this game on Steam with all the DLC associated. This is a pretty addicting game. If you like a little bit of tower defense, a little bit of exploration, some roguelike aspects also, yeah, I think this is a good game. You can spend a few hours here and there until you complete the game. Supposedly around 10 hours. I took a more completeness approach there. Yeah, around 20 hours of gameplay. Again, this is a cheap game, but it's a very enjoyable one. The mechanics they're pretty good. It's a recommendation from me. We got also Deus Ex Mankind Divided Digital Deluxe Edition, also a recommendation from me. And finally we got The Outer Worlds non-mandatory corporate sponsor bundle. I think this is the better version. It doesn't have, I think it's not the yeah, it's got the DLC stuff, but it doesn't have like that visual upgrade thingy, which tanks the performance there on the PC hardware, at least the last time I remembered. But as all the DLC, supposedly you got the season, the Outer Worlds expansion pass, so you got all the DLC associated in terms of content. But yeah, basically this is it for today, guys. We're just going to wrap up with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. As always, this support at this moment in time is for me to be focusing on kind of getting a storage solution to get space to get backups of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.